Hi everyone, it's Michelle here at Serendipity.House. I'm not doing what you think I'm doing. We're going to be using He Loves Me and the big sunflower on the sunflower molds. My daughter is going to be helping me. She's home from college. Come say hello. She's going to be at the stove. This is Grace. I'm not even going to tell you what I'm making right away. You're going to jump in and figure it out if you haven't already figured it out. We have our molds. We have lard. This is all stuff I got from the grocery store. Lard, chunky peanut butter. We're going to start with that, and then we're going to mix in some dry ingredients. There's Lola's butt in the background. She's probably going to end up barking soon because she prefers it if I'm talking to her and not somebody else. So she'll grab toys and go to the front door and do a little bit of barking, and that's just how it is around here. So that's going in my pan. I've never used this stuff before. I thought this up, and I'm going to tell you it's a little different, and I haven't seen it done by any of the IOD people yet. And it's a bit of a hit or miss. Some of the things I made last night look amazing, and some of them don't. So I'm going to be able to give you some tips. So I've got my chunky peanut butter. I'm going to do a half a cup of this. This actually is, I'm doing the recipe and I've changed it a little bit from the original one, but I'll let you guys know what all of that is and what I changed and why. So this is going right in my pan. I'm using natural peanut butter, also not peanut butter that has like all the sugars in it, the low sugar peanut butter with the extra nuts. This is going to go over to the stove to melt together, and I'm going to mix the dry ingredients. Grace is going to take that. Okay, half a cup of cornmeal. Any guesses yet? I feed birds daily, so this is excellent. Cheryl, I didn't say this was for the birds, did I? Oops. And this is why I'm not a very good baker, but I think there's some forgiveness in this because Cheryl did guess correctly. I am making suet cakes for the birds, and they're going to be beautifully shaped in the molds. So a half a cup of flour. I did look up quite a few recipes before I landed on this one. This recipe is from a website called Birds and Blooms. I purposely tried to find some of the bird seed that didn't have as much of the huge chunks. So not a whole lot of sunflower seeds, because what is challenging with this, and I'll show you the ones I did yesterday, is that it's hard to see the details on the molds. And also because of that, I am leaving out the oats this time. So last night's batch of this, that is in the freezer that I'll show you, actually has a cup of oats and a cup of birdseed. For this one, I am leaving out the oats because they were quite large and kind of messed up the details a little bit. And I'm doing 2 cups of birdseed. So we'll see how that works. All right, it's done. So Grace is going to come over and dump this in. Get all of it out. It really does smell good. It does. It smells like peanut butter cookies. It's warm peanut butter. It smells like peanut butter cookies. So we're going to go ahead and mix this in. And it just needed to be melted. So hopefully we can go ahead and touch this right away to fit it right into our molds. Oh, it smells really good. These are some lucky birds. So this is half a recipe, you guys. This is still quite a lot. I think that looks like a little piece of a stick in there, maybe from the bird seed. All right, we're gonna start with He Loves Me. And basically, I just tried to choose the molds that were the deepest so that I could incorporate some twine. I did it 2 different ways, and I'll go ahead and show you both ways. So some are going to have holes in them so that we can put twine through them, and some are going to have the twine right in the middle. And I don't know which I preferred. I think both of them came out well, and they both feel pretty strong. All right, we're going to go ahead and start
that, and I'm going to put a little bit.
Looks much better than yesterday without the oats.
It does. The oats, I hope it stands up as well, but the oats were got a little bit in the way just because of the size, I think, and we ended up having to melt some lard. And
you can see how big they are.
Yeah, the oats were pretty big comparatively. All right, let's go ahead and put a string in there. Now these are going to be two-sided, so it doesn't need to be completely in there because it's going to get sandwiched with another one of these. And then I used this to just get everything to the edges and just kind of try to avoid having a sunflower seed at the very edge. Okay. Now let's make this one, and we're going to do this one with the straw. Now, I haven't tried to feed the string through where the straw goes yet, so when I pop the ones out of the freezer that I have in there, we'll see how that worked. Now here in New Hampshire, our back deck is 2 stories high, and did we do this one in the middle?
That one I think we did like a little bit in, but I think the middle worked pretty well for lining it up.
Yes, yeah, that's true. Okay, so we're just gonna put that straw there in the middle and then pop this in the freezer. A couple of years ago, we used to really feed the birds, and I had beautiful pairs that would come all the time of cardinals and all different birds. I loved watching them. I positioned the feeder so I could see them from where my chair was. And one night at about 8 o'clock while we're in the living room watching TV, a big bear is up on our deck and rips the feeder down. Grace is going to put this into the freezer. This is going right into the freezer. And we had a metal pole, it was like a plumbing piece, and took it and literally bent it in half and ripped up our post. The bears are seen like after school. We have a neighbor that would after school go out to play, and she'd be like, oh, the bear's out in the yard again. And she'd have to come in until the bear was done. So I ended up taking my feeders up because they were coming out in the middle of the day and times that I was a little surprised to see them. So I'm just gonna mound this one up. It's gonna be different than the He Loves Me because it's just a little bit more delicate on the edges. Still pretty though. So Grace, could you heat up a little bit of the lard? So we're just gonna take a spoon of lard in the pan and melt it, and then it's gonna be like glue. Wouldn't it be great if I could put this outside later and post my finished picture of a bird eating from it? That's probably not going to happen, but goals, right? All right, so that's going to go in there. And then the way we did this one, and I think it worked okay, is just kind of making the whole thing thick on the back. So it's going to be a sunflower on the front, and on the back it's going to just be like a big piece of dinner for the birds. All right, let's put this in the freezer, Grace. I'm gonna fill one more of these, and then I'm gonna take out of the freezer what I did yesterday, and I'm gonna fill these because I think I can show you how they pop out and how we put them together. These little ones probably would work too. I see more sticks. I guess I've never noticed that in my bird seed before. We're going to stick a straw in there and then take out the ones we made yesterday. A little bit of corn. All right, so I just put it in the middle and it should go right through. All right, that's going in the freezer. And then I am going to take out of the freezer yesterday's and see what I have. All right, here are yesterday's. They've been in there overnight. They could go in the fridge. All right, so here's the sunflower one. You can see where I took it out and it had some breaks on it because it was just too thin. And so I poured the melted lard in there, and it kind of worked like a glue to get down and fill in like these big spots where the oats were. And then instead of doing 2 together because of how fragile the ends were, we decided just to make it into a nice big cake. And actually it's pretty strong,
and heavy, and I think that'll look pretty outside, and I don't think it's gonna melt. So there's the sunflower, and then these, we're gonna finish and put up a little bit of string. So here is a two-sided He Loves Me. And so this is the two put together with the, when they come out of the freezer, I'm gonna pour the lard in and then sandwich them. And then this one had the straw in it. We're going to go ahead and put the ribbon through that one now. And then if you just pull out, you have a nice big hole there. So let's see if I can actually get some string through there or some ribbon. I really miss my cardinals, and I feel awful that I stopped feeding them. I really, really do. Ooh, yeah, so that went through pretty easily. We'll see how the next one goes through. I think it's pretty and it's natural, and they could use the twine afterward. They are feathered friends. So let's cut a piece of the ribbon with my kitchen scissors that are not very sharp. Look how small that is on the, where's my chopstick? I need a clean chopstick. This hole is a little small on one side, so let's see if I can. I was afraid to break it, which is why I didn't put the holes through after, but maybe you can do that. Maybe you could do it without. I didn't try it because I was trying to set myself up for success, but so far this isn't going very well. Let's see, let's try it like this. This is one of those people are watching me and it's not working moments. There we go. Oh, come on, that is just too cute. Oh, I can just hear the birds. Oh my God, go over to Phillip Drive. You should see the beautiful daisy snacks they have over there. Sorry. I think those are adorable. All right. Because the molds are bendy and they're silicone, Silicone Valley. I say that every single time I use the molds. They come out really easily, and I didn't have to do anything special to make them not stick. I think that is just, I think also we could compare now. Let's look at the difference between the oat. I feel like I got more detail and I didn't have to add the lard. So this one that is without the oats definitely filled in the mold better. And they, again, come out just really easily. I'm getting a look from my husband because I'm usually not doing this here. I'm usually doing this in my workshop.
You made me a look.
Okay, not good. Here's our single, and here's our single. So we want to, very carefully. Wow, it's still,
that's not quite ready.
It's still bendy. Do you see how it's just not quite there yet? I am going to try to do it anyways because I'm not afraid of dropping and failing because I do it all the time here. So this is like glue. And I'm not even gonna really try hard to match this up because this is very delicate. It needs to be in there longer.
Yeah, you can see it wasn't quite frozen all the way through.
Yep, it needs to be in longer, guys. I just wanted to show you how I did that part. And then honestly, this, because it dries clear, it's gonna move right out of the way pretty easily. All right, this one with the straw.
Oh, I feel like that one's gonna break because of the hole, Mom.
I feel like it might break too, but it's okay. Multitasking, we got it, it's all right. Here's my glue. I think I'll be able to put another hole in that pretty easily.
actually worked. I guess this is my day.
The straw back through just to preserve the hole.
And it, yep. I guess that's the worst case scenario right there. It's all right. And no, I'm going to put it back in on this. I thought you were giving that to me to wipe the lard off my fingers. All right, I'm just going to put it back in sitting on that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and that is how I put them together. So that's pretty much the whole. And back into the freezer they go. They need at least 20 minutes, and if you can walk away and leave them longer, that's even better. All right, well, that's it. We've got our finished ones here. They smell so good. Our big sunflower. I do like the second batch better that did not have the oats in it, though. I think they molded better. So, bird suet cakes from the Birds and Blooms website. If you guys make some of these, tag me, Michelle at Serendipity House.